Welcome to Escape Purgatory, a podcast where we rewatch Supernatural, then talk it through in the hopes that we can finally escape this show.
Join us each week, leave comments on upcoming episodes, and together we can escape Supernatural Purgatory.
All right, we're back. Doing this stuff.
We're here. What more do you want?
I like the fact that we switched over on the episode where their lives have switched.
That's true.
Ooh, was that conspiracy? No. Was it an accident? Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, this week we are talking about season 4, episode 17. It's a Terrible Life. Written by Sarah Gamble, and it was directed by James Conway. It was good. Yeah, I liked it. It was a fun filler, but not really episode.
I feel like I overhyped this episode in my brain. Because I really like it, but it wasn't as good as I remember it being.
I wonder if they're running out of money, or they're saving, like, the budget is like a little tight, because I understand why they did certain things, like the transitions between transitions between scenes sometimes.
Yeah.
Was like the printer printing again and the sharpener thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of get that it's supposed to be like, oh, this is monotonous kind of cubicle work. But I was just like, it's really weird. Like, they never do anything like that again for Supernatural.
I don't know. I think the reason is so much fan fiction has been written in this universe where I'm like, yeah, this is a great episode. And yeah, I feel like I myself overhyped it to myself. It's good though. It is a good deviation from the norm. Yeah, but I don't feel like much happens.
No, I mean, it is very much a monster of the week.
Yeah.
And it's a very straightforward, formulaic monster of the week. Yep. It's just got that added, like, they don't know what they're doing, but they do know what they're doing subconsciously. I almost feel like Sam and Dean's characters should have been reversed.
Ooh.
But at the same time...
Ooh, controversial.
At the same time, I can't see Dean, like, being a cubicle worker.
No.
So,
he's got to be in charge. He's the big brother.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, I love Dean Smith. You will pry him from my cold dead hands, Annabelle, with little ties.
I do like the fact that they chose another gun manufacturer name as their last names.
It's just Smith and Wesson. I mean, come on. Come on. So... yeah, no, I do like this episode. It's a nice break, and it is story related. It is. I pretend it's not, but it is.
It doesn't really. It progresses the story in a weird way.
Yeah,
like right. It's with the last conversation of the last episode being like, haha, actually, you wouldn't be happy doing a normal 9 to 5 or like 12-hour days.
I have one question, which I'm going to bring up here, I think, because fine. I could ask at the end of the episode, but I think it fits in here as well. It's kind of a spoiler, but we're past that now. Do you think Cass sent Zachariah to do this?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think that Cass reported what Dean said up to his superiors, and they're like, fuck's sake. Do your job. Maybe not that. No, they probably were like, kind of like, well, you need to show him like what his life would be like or something.
Yeah.
If you can't do it, then we will, kind of thing.
Yeah. No. I think you're probably right.
Zachariah is his superior, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that I could completely see them just being like pushing Cass aside and being like, no.
Yeah. I had this image in my mind of like Cass after hearing Dean like crying in the hospital room, like, I don't want to do this, going like, okay, kid needs a pep talk. Who's really good at pep talks? Like Zachariah. I'm sending Zachariah. It's like the worst decision ever, which is on par for Cass, to be fair. But no, I think yours is probably the more likely one. Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, with that question answered, because we've definitely solved that one, I think let's go into it. Let's do it.
Sounds good. So the recap was Dean questioning everything, and then the fight between him and Alistair. I say fight, the annihilation between him and Alistair. Snippets of the last conversation of like Dean saying, look, it can't be me. You have to pick somebody else.
Yeah. Why me? Why me? God, why me?
Quite literally the question that everybody asks. It then starts with an alarm clock going off, and it ticks over to 6 a.m. Quite a reasonable time to wake up.
Yep, that's when I get up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not true. It's not true. Not
Play
anymore.
the Dolly Parton song. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
They should have played this. They should have got the rights to that song for this montage, because I believe Dean Smith would listen to Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Who is it? I want to say it's the Beatles, but it probably isn't. But it's that kind of 60s rock that's playing.
Oh, yeah, the music that's actually... I was like, no, Dolly Parton wrote that song. I was like, oh, no, you mean the song that's actually in the episode, not my fan mix.
To go back, yes, 9 to 5 definitely should have been playing. Absolutely, I agree with that. And would Dean Smith... Yeah, he would. You're right, he would.
He totally would.
I mean... Who doesn't like that song, at least, by Dolly Parton?
Exactly.
It's clear that Dean Smith is a rather conscious eater, because he's got like rice milk and he's frothing this milk into and then he pours it into a coffee cup, and then he goes outside he's got like his briefcase, goes to his car, and it's a Prius, which is great.
What is Americans' problem with a Prius? I have never seen a Prius in the UK. I don't think.
You have. I'm sure you have.
I don't. To be fair, I don't know I don't know modern cars. They all look the same. They're all bubbles.
The thing I know about Prius cars, and as to why people hate them so much, was one, that they were really ugly, and two, that generally the owners of Prius cars, especially in like this era, were very pretentious.
Oh, I drive a Prius. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I care about the environment, so I have a Prius. Like,
okay, are they hybrids?
Right. Yes.
That makes sense.
They were technically the first hybrid. That's not true. There were other ones, but like some reason this particular the Prius became the hybrid car, and then.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Like Teslas now.
Basically, yeah. Yeah,
because if I see someone driving a Tesla, I'm like, you're probably a bit of a knob. Anyway.
So yes. So he gets into the Prius, and when he turns on the car, rock music starts playing. Like, it cuts out the like overhead music, and this like, and Dean makes a face of like, ugh, what's this? And he presses on a different station, and it's like NPR.
It's so weird. Right, okay. I just want to talk about the statement that they're making here, because at the end of this, again, the end of this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about the end at the beginning. Zachariah says that they just wiped their memories. Mm-hmm. So are we dealing with like a nature versus nurture Dean Winchester here? So are you saying that he's genetically coded to drive a Prius and not listen to rock music, and it's only through nurture of being John and Mary's son that he likes those things? What are we saying? Well, I mean, this is absolute rubbish I'm spouting, but I just thought like the implication is funny.
Yeah, because it is a complete like deviation of. Oh no, this is all Zachariah set up.
Yeah,
because probably Sam has the Impala, right?
Oh, maybe.
What's Sam Wesson owning like the Impala? I could.
No, that's messing with my mind. I don't like it.
So Zachariah was just like, you know what? Let's put him in a Prius. We know this is nothing like his like his day to day, and we need to make him like completely uncomfortable.
Yeah, he can look back on it and like shudder. I drove a Prius.
What I want to know is whose apartment is that? Whose car is that?
That's true. They've just stolen someone's lives.
Right?
This is established that this isn't an alternate universe. I remembered that this was an alternate universe, but it's not. It's the same universe. They've just stolen someone's life.
So there probably is a real Dean Smith out there and a real Sam Wesson. And they've just like, I don't know, put them in timeout for like 3 weeks.
What if they just switched them? What if they just switched them and it's like these two like company men have to go fight a vampire or something? Is this who Dean would be without his upbringing? I don't necessarily think I'm right. I think Zachariah's implanted like false memories.
Yeah.
Which is kind of proven too. So you're right, he's just messing with him like, what car would Dean hate the most?
Yeah. Dean drives off and he gets to his skyscraper. He's working at a Sandover Bridge and Iron company.
I was trying to like get some meaning out of the name of Sandover and Iron, and I couldn't find anything in my brain. I'm always looking now because of Angel. Because I remember that reveal on Angel of the company name, and I was like, damn, how did I not see this?
I'm trying not to think about it so I don't like facepalm.
I know, right? It's so obvious. I'm young and dumb.
Yeah, that's the reason. So as we sort of see a montage of Dean Smith's day. He's writing like a letter. He's got an earpiece, which again, Dean would absolutely hate.
I don't know though, because if PA Dean taught us anything, he does like a headset.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong on that. You're not wrong on that. He's talking business with all these people. In that kind of montage, we see him eat like a salad, and like it's just a close up of his mouth, and it's just like, oh, that's uncomfortable. Just very uncomfortable, which again is in contrast with what he usually eats.
Yeah.
And then an older man comes in and just does sort of the upper management sort of talk of like good stuff, like, big things, good stuff. It then cuts to later on in the day, and Dean's again on the phone with somebody, and he's saying, like, I haven't been to the gym in ages, and it's such a sedentary lifestyle. And then asks for like a cleanse of lemon, cayenne, and maple syrup.
Disgusting. No, disgusting.
Cayenne and maple syrup. That sounds pretty good. Not the lemon. Like a spicy maple syrup?
I'm not here for a juice cleanse.
Oh, no.
No.
I mean, for like, if you had some pancakes and you'd put some of it.
Okay, good, fine. Yeah, okay. Sorry on that one.
Then nighttime, and Dean's checking his phone, which is a BlackBerry now.
Yes.
I don't know if that carries on until the next episode, whether like he's actually just upgraded his phone, or it's business Dean.
I mean, I feel like it's business Dean.
Me too. Me too. He gets into the lift, and it pans over to Sam, and he's in like a polo shirt, and just sort of looking over at him like, do I know you?
I'm sorry, man. You just look really familiar. Save it for the health club, pal.
He just automatically assumes that Sam is hitting on him.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, he's the big boss man. He's a director. Of course, everybody wants to be him.
I feel like Dean Smith gets hit on a lot by many genders. So we go into the next act with a cutscene that we see at least 3 times in this episode of a printer, a fax machine, which who uses fax machines?
2009, everybody.
No, I think that was old even then. Right?
Not in America.
Oh, maybe not America. Behind the times.
Everywhere I've worked, they still use fax machines.
I saw a fax machine once in the wild when I was 12, and I was like, this is old technology. What is this? That would have been like 2002. We see an automatic pencil sharpener, which is actually the jam. As a school kid in England, you have to do work experience. And my work experience, I worked in a school or something. Where was I? I was working somewhere with children. But my job every day was to go in the morning and sharpen all the pencils. Because I was 50 and they didn't trust me to do anything else. So every morning for like a week, for about 45 minutes, just be like, ooh, it's a sharp pencil now. So we see a phone ringing, and then Sam presses a button, and I don't know if you've ever watched the IT Crowd. I don't know if it's a big thing in America.
I try to tell everybody that I know about it because I love that show so much.
It's such a good show. They did try and do an American remake and it doesn't work. So just watch the British version, but watch
It's
it
on
'cause
Netflix.
It's good, right? But basically, it's the IT crowd. It's like, have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah. It's very corporate IT support of like for some reason middle and upper management don't know how to use their technology.
Nope.
So they just call down to the lower levels and like, can you come fix it?
My absolute favourite one in the IT crowd is where he just hooks his phone up to that recording machine.
Yes.
Where it's just like got the same messages.
Does he pause it at all? No, I think he literally just lets it go because it's like the same amount of time each time.
He has like a little pause and it's like, has it worked? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, cool, thanks, man. Oh yeah, watch that. Watch the... I'm just giving recommendations now. Best episode, hands down, the one where they changed the number of 999.
Yes. Yes, that is... So, okay, this is the second time we've I'm not sure if it made the cut last time. But this is the second time we've talked about the IT crowd because we talked about the like magician.
Oh yes,
it played a big part of our lives. It's so good, and I think I said it then too. You'll recognize most of the actors in it.
Yeah. I mean, Chris O'Dowd is like big in Hollywood now. I love. I mean, Richard Ayoade. Always, whenever they're going to do a new Doctor Who, they're like, is it this time? Is it going to be him this time? Yeah. So Sam does the bit. He's like, have you tried turning it off and on again? And it works. And then he puts on the phone. There's a guy who sits behind him. He's the only person there who's not wearing their...
It's not flattering colouring.
No one outside the UK is going to understand this reference, but they're wearing brownie uniforms.
Oh, yes. I was thinking more of our like school PE clothes.
Yeah, that colour. But it's the brown trousers that make it a brownie uniform.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll explain for our US people. Basically, Girl Scouts.
Without the salesmanship.
Yeah, there's no cookies involved.
No.
But yeah, the uniforms are interesting. Yeah, so he is dressed like a British Girl Scout. Such a random reference. And the guy behind him is not wearing a uniform. Is clearly his friend at work. And he talks to him about hitting up a lady called Mimi, who is apparently a MILF. So even with his memories gone, Sam's still into those MILFs. Yes. I mean, he's kind of like here, like, should you be doing that? But you know.
Because Mimi is not a MILF. She's even older lady.
A cougar, you might say. Is there a difference between a MILF and a cougar? Okay, fine.
No. Well, in my mind, a MILF and a cougar are about the same.
So the guy's like, time for a refuel, and they go to the kitchen and they try to take another guy with them, Paul, but he's like super into his work. He's like, no time. I'm like really busy, and he just seems really, really high strung and stressed out. The guy who's with Sam is like, well, yeah, he got busted surfing porn on the internet and got, I guess, called up about that. So, yeah, he got sent up to HR yesterday.
Why?
I don't understand this. Look,
I mean, I understand
that politicians do it, so...
Yeah. In Parliament.
I know.
That was the wildest thing. Anyway.
Dominatrix tractors. That's all he was looking for, Annabelle.
You know what I'm imagining, right? I did know this. I forgot, but I did know this. I'm just imagining like a tractor, like in like latex,
a leather daddy tractor.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So Sam and his friend go to the break room, and someone takes out some popcorn from the microwave. Sam gets some coffee, and this guy goes to... this guy's called Ian, by the way. I don't know why I'm just calling him the guy. His name's Ian. And he goes and like steals loads of pencils. Like, out of all the office supplies, why pencils? Like,
right?
The cheapest thing.
Get what you can, I guess, but like, get what you need.
Yeah.
I was going to say, why don't you get like a stapler? But like, you don't need more than one stapler. Like, if you steal a stapler, then you steal all the staples.
So Sam calls him out on it and he's like, I'm doing a little shopping because I'm running low at home. How many pencils are you using? And what for?
Yeah, I was going to say, what? I mean, maybe he likes to draw, but I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he's making one of those little like log cabins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, out of pencils. Like a popsicle one, but like...
Out of pencils.
Pencils. And
he's selling it to the kids on the streets.
Yeah. Want to buy pencils? So Ian asked Sam if he's had any dreams lately, which is the first sign of Sam being like the Sam we know. And he doesn't want to tell him to start with because he's like, you'll make fun of me. He says he's just going to be a dick about it. Which, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so Sam eventually tells him that he dreamt that he saved a Grim Reaper named Tessa from some demons. So we're like, oh, well, that actually happened. Ian does laugh at him.
Classic! How much D&D did you play when you were a kid? Oh my... Okay, so you say... rescuing the Grim Reaper. You're a hero. I mean, thank God we got Harry Potter here to save us all from the apocalypse.
Dick.
Wizard!
Do you think Sam Winchester, not Sam Wesson, do you think Sam Winchester plays D&D? Or has played D&D? Now, we know Dean definitely is going to play D&D in the future. But I feel like he might have some basic knowledge because Sam's a big old nerd.
He might have been, because obviously there wasn't like remote play like there is now.
Yeah.
Like you could just jump on Skype or Zoom or whatever when he was a kid. And because, just thinking back to the other episode where we saw that they're sort of there for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Would you really jump into a game for 2 to 3 weeks?
Well, wait, no, you made it sad. So do you think Sam's always wanted to play D&D?
I think so.
Has Scott got any friends?
It's like, just choose like Magic the Gathering. It's a little bit shorter playtime.
This is why Charlie is the best sister for them, look, because everyone's like, well, they have their D&D nights and Dean would be really into it. Sam would be right there with his level 12 warlock or whatever. I feel that
Cass would be like, what is going on?
I don't know.
Can I not just annihilate them with my smiting powers?
Yeah. Doesn't understand
Charlie would be like, no.
the concept of role play. It's like, no, my name is Castiel. Why are you referring to me as Sparky Hands? Because like definitely I'm going on my D&D like fanfic rant now. Charlie would definitely roll Cass a character and hand it to him and it would be super weird. But like amazingly on point of his character. Flamey McSparkhands. or I don't know, Doctor, stop breaking all the light bulbs in the house. Anyway, we see that sequence again of the monotonous office background. Sam's yawning at his desk. The setup to him falling asleep at his desk is like, I don't know, drama school level. Like, oh, I'm really tired. Oh, big yawn. And then it's just like asleep. No one falls asleep like that. And we see like a montage of them killing things. So like Sam killing a demon, them killing the Striga thing. What else was there? Oh, Dean in Bloodlust. That's the one that stuck out to me at the end.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about that a lot and it's been a while and I was like, oh man, that is intense.
And can you imagine, like, you've seen that guy in the office and you've just watched him, like, decapitate a creature that you have no idea what it is.
I know.
With a buzzsaw. It
would be weird. Especially if you didn't have any, maybe, like, attraction to this person. Thinking, why am I having daydreams about him, like, covered in blood, murdering?
It may lead to some questions of yourself.
Yeah, I would definitely be questioning what I'm into. So this wakes Sam up and he kind of looks around a bit guiltily. And he gets in the lift and Dean is there with a few other people. And Sam's like trying not to look at him after he's just seen him in his mind covered in blood. And And then everyone gets out except Sam and Dean because, of course, that happens.
Yep. It's TV magic.
It's TV magic and, like, also a massive trope. I'm still rewatching Grey's Anatomy and I'm sad that the lift conversations don't happen as much as they used to. But at some point that was, like, every time two characters got in a lift together, you're like, oh, it's going to be a serious conversation.
So it's like every time they get into the car.
Exactly! I mean, these shows came out at the same time, so...
They just have to be traveling in some sort of direction, either up or down or like...
Yeah, it's the motion, it's the movement. It brings out the feelings. So Sam looks at Dean and is like, can I ask you a question? And Dean's like, no, I'm not, sorry, like, I'm not into you, basically. And so I'm like, no, me neither. Like, I just want to ask you one question.
What do you think about ghosts?
I love that, like, again, even without his memories, Sam is the most awkward person you've ever met. You know what I was saying in After School Special about there's a certain twitchiness to Sam that you just got to get down. This episode is the perfect indication of that. He has just so many, like, slightly twitchy facial expressions and, like, movements of his body. There's something so quintessentially Sam Winchester about that, and it's so good in this. I just want to imagine that you're at work and this guy you don't know comes up, doesn't say anything else, like, you know, oh, how's your day going, whatever, just like, what do you think about ghosts?
It's actually genius.
I love it so much. You know, Dean's like, oh, I haven't really given it much thought, which is that's a normal response. That's fine. Yeah. And then, like, Sam doubles down and is like, well, what about vampires?
Which, yeah. So we mentioned this as well, that vampires in this show don't look like vampires in anything else.
No.
So why does he, because he even plays with like a bobblehead of like a Dracula.
Yeah.
So how does he know? Well, I guess this is his like Sam Winchester coming through to know that like what Dean was doing was decapitating a vampire.
I wonder if, I do wonder in this episode if maybe the demon blood gave him a little bit more resistance than Dean to the mind wiping, because Sam definitely seems to get on board with this much more quickly than Dean does.
And the point wasn't to change Sam's mind. Sam is already on the path of like doing what he's going to do.
Which is really interesting. I'm diverging from the plot here, but it's really interesting why Zachariah chose to put them together, because surely if he wanted to prove that Dean was always on this path, he would have actually separated him from Sam, because Sam's the one who drags him back into it in this case. So maybe that's the destiny, that they're always going to be dragging each other back in.
It's payback.
Yeah, it really is. It actually really is in this one. Dean's the one who's got a Stanford education in this.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, no, I can't let that stand. Anyway, Sam says, like, you know, Dean is questioning why this guy is asking about ghosts and vampires, and Sam's like, I've been having some weird dreams lately. Do you know what I mean? And Dean's like, no. And so like, you never had any weird dreams. Dean does have a look here like he does have some weird dreams, but has dismissed them as like maybe a result of his juice cleanse or something.
Yeah.
I ate too much cayenne pepper, so I dream about hell. Like
the spice.
It's the spiciness. That's why I keep having dreams about torturing people.
I mean, if you're eating salad every day with not much on it, then like...
I tell you, the hangriness. Yeah.
I don't know you, okay? But I'm gonna do a public service and let you know that you overshare.
Which is a Sam trait, actually.
It is. Yeah.
Case in point, telling his brother that he slept with Ruby.
Oh yeah, that was way too much detail. Way too much detail. Nobody needed to know that, Sam.
Nope.
So Dean gets out of the lift as he gets to his floor. We see the same office thing again. And Sam's also back to his job. Did you try turning off and on again? But now he's... I don't know why this is so funny. He like looks around like really sneakily suspicious and then types vampires into his search engine.
But we know canonically that Buffy exists in this universe. So it wouldn't be that weird to search. I mean, okay, maybe you're like, what, a 26-year-old man?
Yeah.
Maybe Googling vampires is not quite so normal, but like, I don't think anybody would think less of you for doing so.
No, I guess it's because it's not work related. It's technically his work day. So you shouldn't be Googling stuff that's not related to work, whatever.
But like, you're in the IT department, so surely you should know. And your office friend was caught doing something they shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
You know that they're monitoring your searches right now.
Like, you have to lock your screen quickly if someone comes up. Like, come on, man. So yeah, he just sees some Draculas. But that's what I'm going to call them, Draculas. Yeah. He turns back to his friend Ian, and he looks a little bit worried because Ian's had a message from Human Resources to go up and talk to them. And sounds like, well, they're probably on to you for stealing office supplies.
Right.
And Ian responds to that with, I hope they spank me. And he goes up to HR. So as Ian walks past Paul, the guy who was stressed out earlier, he's looking even more stressed out. To the point that, like, this guy's shouting that Sam goes up and talks to him too. He's like, no, please don't do this. And it turns out his computer's frozen. And that when he turned it back on, all his work had gone. Which, yes, very frustrating. But he's having, like, a massive overreaction to this. Sam's like, it's okay. Like, these things happen. It's fine. And then it cuts quite suddenly to nighttime and he's still there trying to find his work. But it just keeps saying that it's not found.
So one thing, right? In working in a situation where something like, not exactly like this has happened, but you know, I've lost work from like editing and stuff.
Yeah.
At what point do you stop trying to recover and just start working again?
I know. I've had it.
Because that was what I was thinking. Like, because it's clear that he's been there all night. I'm like, dude, the amount of time you spent trying to recover your work, you probably could have done half of it by now because you've already done it once, so you already know how to do it.
But he's like, it's some kind of weird ghost possession, Annabelle.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, if this actually happens to you, just own up to it and do it again. It's fine. Don't worry.
Exactly.
It's all good. So yeah, he's really stressed out. He's like, I failed. And then he kind of gets up and leaves. And he looks very, like, zombified, I think.
Yeah.
We see him walk into the break room. He breaks the spiky bits off a plastic fork. Mm-hmm. And opens the microwave and then stops the door from latching by putting the fork in. And then microwaves his head.
Yep.
Super weird.
Super gross.
I don't know if you can die like that.
Don't try it.
Don't try it. Like, I don't want to test it out, but like, it's...
I mean, I can't imagine. Where's Mythbusters when you need them?
Yeah, where is Mythbusters?
Because, yeah,
I don't know how microwaves... I don't know enough about microwaves.
I don't either. Maybe it's more it's more dramatic, right?
Yeah.
Than what would actually happen. Probably what would happen is like your brain would like leak out your nose from the radiation.
Oh yeah, maybe. Gross, man.
Yeah. Not like an explosion.
The best bit about this is like it fades to black and then dings. Mm-hmm. I loved that. It was so dumb.
Supernatural just being dramatic.
They wanted the man to microwave his head so they could make a joke about popcorn in the next scene.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we saw the guy doing the popcorn, and then the same guy says, I'm never going to eat popcorn again. They wanted to make the joke, so man microwaves his head.
I do find it funny that, like, again, probably assuming it's more like upper management or middle management because he's in a suit, like, not in their uniform.
Yeah.
Is the guy that would come down to their floor to microwave.
He's the type of guy who would come down to a different break room to microwave fish in the microwave. So, yeah,
that it doesn't stick up. Well, I mean, there is that, like, there was a sign on the microwave.
It's because of that guy.
Yeah. It's cool.
I'm giving him a backstory. He's the fish in the microwave guy.
Yeah. Fish in the microwave guy on level 13. They all know him. Oh, dear. So we come back and the coroner's there, which, how long? I mean, I guess... It's closed up for the night, so whoever came in the morning probably found this poor guy.
I hope they got to go home for the day, at least.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know. I hope that never happens. And so there's lots of people on that floor now, including Dean.
Something about this seemed not right to you.
Yeah. Try the whole thing. I'm telling you, man. I'll never eat popcorn again.
And so he makes the popcorn joke. Ha 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 ha. We're all laughing at this like traumatic event that's happened in the building.
It's funny now because there's food involved.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha.
We then cut to Dean and he's looking at the personnel files of this man, Paul, and he was supposed to retire in about 2 weeks.
Oh, he was 2 days from retirement.
Yeah, basically.
It's basically that.
Sam rolls over to Ian's cubicle and Ian is now like in the uniform.
He gazed into the brownie pool. He danced around that mushroom.
Yes, he did.
I'm giving away our secret society. I can't remember what the line was, but I remember thinking, this is weird.
It's a cult thing.
I was like 7 and I was like, this is weird.
I think it was like 9. I got into the brownies really late.
Yeah.
So Sam says like, why would someone kill themselves 2 weeks? It's weird that he says someone. It's like, this was supposed to be your friend, but anyway.
Yeah.
Why would someone kill themselves 2 weeks before they were supposed to retire? And Ian's now also very uptight. He says, I don't have time for this. And Sam's like, haha, yeah, sure. Very funny. Sam starts to question him.
What's with you?
I'm working. It's important.
HR bust your balls or something? You're wearing the shirt.
And then the phone rings and Ian like answers professionally.
Mm.
And he says he's got to go up to 22 to speak to a manager. And the manager, I'm surprised he says manager because Dean's actually a director.
True. Wow. Sorry. The thing I was thinking then is like Zachariah makes a reference later to Dean being a duck and his office number is 22. 22 ducks in a row. Or whatever it is, like the bingo number.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
What
sense.
is it, like 2 little ducks, 22? I can't remember how they say it. Because it's supposed to rhyme. Anyway, sorry.
I'm not sure. So, Dean being a director of marketing and sales.
Yeah.
That is a hefty paycheck, especially in a corporation.
Yes.
Where did that money go? Does this actually go to the Dean Smith? It was supposed to be Dean Smith?
Yes. I don't know.
Because that could have like, that's 3 weeks of work. You're getting paid like a good salary for 3 weeks.
That's some money. Like Dean could have done with that money.
Mm-hmm.
He earned that money.
He did. He wrote those emails. He made those phone calls.
Yeah.
I bet the people on the other end of the line are going to be like, wait, you don't sound like the Dean Smith I was talking to before.
Where's your gravelly, like, baritone?
When Ian approaches, Dean's like, hey, there's just an issue with this form. I just need you to just, like, correct it. And Ian overreacts. Mm-hmm. And Dean's like, oh, don't worry about it. Just fix it and that's fine. And Ian's like, no, I can't believe I did this. The profits is gonna, my one screw up is gonna bail the whole company.
Yeah. And
he then rushes out of the room and Dean follows him to the bathroom. As Ian's like looking in the mirror, everything kind of gets cold. So you see the breath and then like the water switches on. I thought he was going to drown himself.
Me too.
But then I realised there aren't like stoppers in the sink.
No, it's to be quite difficult. The one thing that I noticed is the soap dispenser's empty too. Mm-hmm. But I didn't realise when I was watching it that it was soap for a second. I was like, what's that pink stuff and why is it like tubby custard? Like, why is there tubby custard coming out?
And I swear they usually put it like over the sink too, not like on the side like that. That's really funny though.
It's the exact same colour and consistency as tubby custard. It is.
I don't know if anybody would know what that is, to be honest. It's another English thing.
It's true. I'm on a roll today with the references. Just, I don't know, Google tubby custard. It's spelled how it sounds. It's from a children's TV show. Everyone knows what Teletubbies are.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Have you ever eaten tubby custard? Because I have.
No, I did not. Because my parents were anything too English. They're like, no. So we never got like the green ketchup.
Oh, the green ketchup was the best.
Or anything like that.
It tasted like you know, incredibly artificial strawberry flavouring to the point that it doesn't taste like strawberries anymore. It just tastes like chemicals.
Yes.
Just like that.
Dean's trying to calm Ian down, and Ian turns around and faces Dean, pulls out a pencil out of his pocket. Obviously, it would be a pencil.
Yeah.
And stabs his neck.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go into his eye for a second. I'm like, no. But okay, fine.
Dean goes over to try and help Ian, so he sees a reflection in the tile. When he turns around, the guy's not there, and Ian has died.
Yep.
In the corridor, Dean's explaining to, like, a police officer what the situation. I mean, I guess that they're not looking for Dean Winchester, right? Because
no, he just happens to look very much like dead felon serial killer Dean Winchester.
I mean, he's not a most wanted anymore, so
that's true because he's technically dead. And I guess if they run his name and he's working at a corporation, fine. They have no reason to suspect him. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. We then see the same. So we're at number 4.
Oh.
We're seeing the printer and the fax machine. Sam receives a phone call and it's Dean saying that he needs to see him in his office. So Sam goes up.
Who the hell are you? Not sure I know.
What the hell does that mean?
I mean, that, again, classic Sam Winchester. Who am I?
Existential crisis moment. Dean asks him to clarify and he gives his name as Sam Wesson, so Smith & Wesson. Which a lot of people think is Weston. I don't know why.
Oh, American accent's not translating properly.
Yeah, more than likely. Dean starts to talk about his, master cleanse.
It made me think about it, actually, because normally in this situation, the normal Dean would have a hip flask that he, unscrews and chugs out of. It's almost like a...
comfort thing.
Yeah, like a comfort thing or like an ingrained reaction.
Do you think he started to look at cleanses and stuff because he doesn't realise he's going through withdrawal because of how much Dean drinks?
Yes.
For him suddenly to stop drinking like that.
It would have a biological effect that wouldn't be affected by your memories. Yeah, that's a really good theory. Yeah, I like that a lot. And I think the unscrewing and the drinking of something is almost like a conditioned response to stress. Yeah.
And because he's not an alcoholic in this situation, he goes for this detox.
Yeah.
Which detoxes don't work. We all know this. That's what your liver does. Your kidneys do. Your body has a detox system.
Yeah, it's built in, man.
Just feed it water.
Yeah.
Don't
need to drink it with lemon juice and cayenne pepper, which is definitely gonna dehydrate you, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so Sam's trying to bring it back to the weird conversation. He says, so when you were in the bathroom with Ian, did you see something? And he says, I don't know. I don't know what I saw. And then I guess Sam, being the galaxy brain that he is, actually connects that you saw a ghost. And Dean tries to explain it away, saying, I was freaking out. I just saw a guy stab a pencil in his neck.
Yeah.
And Sam's not letting it go. He's like, you did, didn't you? Okay, listen.
Yeah. Come on, man. He gets really excited.
I mean, what if there's something not natural?
I love it so much. I love that line so much. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Oh. It is.
I kind of really want, and I'm surprised I've never seen this as a t-shirt, but I kind of really would like a Dean Smith and Sam Wesson t-shirt in the supernatural font that says not natural. But then I just realised as I said that, what I'm asking for is a t-shirt with 2 guys on that says not natural. And I think that might be homophobic by accident.
Yeah. And it would be to anybody else who's not
know the reference.
The inside joke would be hilarious.
It'd be really good. But yeah, I definitely can't put that on a t-shirt.
Unless you've got an ally pin and be like, no,
guys, look, before you judge me, I know you're not going to come up and talk to me about this t-shirt that I'm wearing, but it needs a disclaimer at the bottom, this is a supernatural joke, by the way, I'm really sorry.
It's such a good t-shirt idea. It's a t-shirt you wear at a convention.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's the only place you can wear
That's the only place you can possibly wear that t-shirt that I just made up. New merch for the store, Annabelle.
I guess I'll have to do that. So yes, something not natural. Dean's like, so, what, ghosts are real and they're responsible for all the dead bodies around here? Is that what you're telling me?
The way they sit on opposite sides of the desk is very Sam and Dean, like a diner table. That's how they would normally come into a restaurant and sit down together to discuss the case. I enjoyed that. Yep.
And I mean, he says, Dean's like, well, so based on what? And he says instinct, because everything they're doing,
it's true,
is based on instinct.
It's like how it's like how you ride a bike. It's not you have to learn to ride a bike, but I feel like you can go years without riding a bike, and then you get back on a bike and you can just ride it. Like muscle memory. That's the word I'm thinking of.
And Dean says, oh, I think I have the same instincts. They have this weirdly reminiscent conversation.
I love it. Yeah.
I was dreaming about ghosts.
Yeah?
And then it turns out that there's a real ghost.
So you're telling me that your dreams are special visions and you're some kind of psychic?
No, I mean, that would be nuts. I'm just saying something weird is definitely going on around here, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it because no, that's stupid. Let's just dismiss it straight away. I'm not psychic.
Sam, again, galaxy brain, says, oh, I think I've found a connection between the two guys. Again, talking about them like they're not his friends.
Yeah, Ian seemed to be his pretty good work buddy. Mm-hmm. And he's just yeah, he's dead now. So sorry, peace out. You were just a colleague to me.
An acquaintance.
Yeah.
He was probably the person who trained him, right?
I know, it's cold. This is quite cold of you, Sam. He really doesn't seem to care about poor dead Ian.
So it turns out that Sam had hacked both of their email accounts and were sent up to HR on 1444. Dean's like, well, HR is on 7. He says, oh, should we go check it out?
I am dying to check this out right now. Right?
It's cute. I love this.
It then cuts to a corridor and a guy in a tech shirt walks around the corner and he finds office 1444 and it looks like a storeroom or an abandoned office. It's empty and he's supposed to be getting reprimanded for something. The door slams shut behind him. Everything starts to come on. There's ghost stuff. Sam and Dean are then coming around the corner and they hear the guy inside the room yelling, but it's still locked. They can't get it open. And Sam kicks down the door and Dean goes, whoa.
He's so impressed. It's so good.
Yeah. Which I think is kind of funny that it's Sam that kicked down the door because it is usually Dean that does that.
That is a Dean move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he would be better at it. I'm thinking levers. Yes, Sam would be the better kicker of doors because he's taller, right? You can get more oomph, momentum.
I mean, eventually it comes down to technique, surely.
Yeah, guess so.
Technique and strength.
Yeah.
A shelf has fallen onto the man and Sam and Dean try to lift it off. And then this old man appears and flings Dean across the room. Sam is thrown away as well. The guy has electric, kind of like Asylum, the same kind of thing.
He's almost exactly the same as a ghost in Asylum. He looks so similar.
I think he's an old white man.
Yeah, with electricity fingers.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of made sense for the doctor in Asylum to have electricity fingers because of electric therapy, but okay. Dean finds a wrench and swings at him, and the ghost dissipates. And all the monitors switch off and everything stops shaking and they manage to get the man out from the shelves. Sam says, how did you know how to do that? And Dean says, I have no idea.
Again, the muscle memory, because this action of him swinging that is very, very Dean.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he has a golf, in his office, he has a little strip of putt-putt.
I mean, so you can explain away why he's so... I mean, Dean would be very good at golf, I feel.
Yeah, both of them would be. You can see that later on in this episode. Pretty sure their form's pretty good.
It looks pretty good. So we go to Dean's apartment. I will say, I was looking out for things that made this Dean, but his apartment is like devoid of personality. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, like there's nothing Dean in that room. He's still drinking his cleansing juice.
It's probably like a model apartment. Imagine like the owners of the building coming back and be like, why is this lived in? This
is a showroom, sir. So Dean's like, holy crap, dude. Like, he's clearly very excited. And Sam said he'd quite like a beer, which is usually what they do, right? They fight the ghost, drink a beer. But Dean's like, oh, sorry, I'm on the cleanse. And he got rid of all the carbs in the house. Sam says, how do you know ghosts are scared of wrenches? Which is just... It's really funny that that's the conclusion that he made from that.
Mm-hmm. A nice job kicking in that door, too. That was very Jet Li. What are you, like a black belt or something?
No. I have no clue how I did that.
Yeah, Dean makes a movie reference, so apparently that part of his personality hasn't changed either. And Sam's like, no, I just can't shake this feeling like I don't belong here, you know? Like, I should do something more than sit in a cubicle.
I think most people who work in a cubicle feel that same way.
But Sam, like, says it's more than that. Like, he doesn't feel like he fits in the clothes. Like, he doesn't like the job. He doesn't like the town. He doesn't like the clothes. He doesn't like his last name. Mm. Which is where I think he's maybe getting a bit of a resistance to whatever this stuff is, because he just seems way less comfortable than Dean.
Yeah.
Though Dean has been looking for a way out of hunting for a while, so maybe his brain, even though he doesn't have his memories, is like, we did it, man. Time to switch off.
Exactly.
Yeah, he feels like he should be doing something else. There's just something in my blood. So, yeah, definitely the demon thing. And he says, like, I was destined for something different. What about you? Do you ever feel that way? And then Dean says the most Dean thing that he says in this episode.
I don't believe in destiny. I do believe in dealing with what's right in front of us, though.
These two lines, core of their characters, unchanging, even without all their memories. Sam feels like he doesn't belong, right?
Yeah.
That he's supposed to be doing something that he's not doing. Mm-hmm. And Dean has to solve everybody's problems.
Yep. But he'll only solve the problem that's in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. No destiny.
You can't look beyond that.
Yeah. So Sam says, all right, what do we do now? And Dean says, well, do what I do best, Sammy. Research.
Did you just call me Sammy?
Did I?
I think you did. Yeah. Don't.
They research. Dean finds some real ghost hunters. Some actual ones. Mm-hmm. He's like, it's the best site ever. These guys are genius. And we see Harry and Ed.
I think out of everything that was said in this episode, I think that would be the thing that haunts him the most, that he called Harry and Ed geniuses.
Yeah. They have a pact, Sam and Dean, that they never speak of this again.
Exactly.
Yeah. We can't let anybody know we took ghost hunting advice from the Ghostfacers.
Well, the Ghostfacers do admit that most of the advice that they got were from the Winchesters, so it's just a circular.
They're taking advice from themselves. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, I loved this because I feel like it's been ages since we've seen Ed and Harry, but apparently they've made some YouTube shorts or something. Like, this is days before YouTube was really big. But they've done a whole series on how to fight ghosts that Dean and Sam are going to use.
We've come to the right place. The only decent place, really, because the Ghostfacers know how to solve it.
Period.
Watch and learn.
See, the first step in any supernatural fight, figure out what you're up against.
So they look up this guy. It turns out the ghost is P.T. Sandover. He owned the company, died in 1916. It says Office 1444 was the centre of the centre of operations. This guy was like a corporate monster, you know, like pushing his workers really hard, trying to do everything, etc. And then Sam says, like, this isn't the first time that people started killing themselves in the building, though. It also happened in 1929. And Dean's like, yeah, but that happened a few places because that was the beginning of the Great Depression. But this company had 17 deaths. It's pretty high. So Dean's like, okay, this guy wakes up and becomes active during times of grave economic distress. And I was like, oh, yes, 2009.
Yeah, the crash just happened.
The crash just happened. So yeah, I don't know if there's anyone young enough listen to our podcast who doesn't know about what happened in 2008 and 2009, but
yeah, it was bad. It was very. I mean, I have to say, like, in terms of my awareness at the time, I did not know, but we were 18, 19. Like, it didn't.
It definitely affected our like job prospects of like our generation. Yeah.
But like we were just going into university too, so it was just like we got in before it affected university.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, it definitely had like a knock-on effect. You know. And Sam says, "Yeah, this is the worst time we've seen since the Great Depression. Welcome to 2022."
We're not there yet, but we're getting close.
Yep. And then Dean's like, "Yeah, my portfolio sucks. Like, I don't want to talk about it." Oh, bless him. He's got a portfolio. So yeah, it turns out this ghost is getting rid of bad employees, what he thinks are bad employees, by basically turning them into perfect worker bees, and then when they can't live up to the standards, they die. Sam finds one more fact, that the building, the 14th floor used to be the top floor, but then they've built onto it since then. And that 1444, might have another floor in there somewhere, used to be this guy's office. So they go back and they watch this Ghostface's video. They're like, right.
Once you've got that thing in your sights, you kill it! Using special ghost hunting weapons.
So they give them salt, apparently like acids to ghosts, but Bernie acid, not LSD. Like iron, and someone's like, oh, that's where the wrench worked. Like, I was so dumb before. Ed and Harry go on to be like, well, we learned this from like these douchebags of Winchesters. I love that those on the internet just like absolutely blasting Sam and Dean and like giving their full name. Well, they called them the Winchesters, but like quite easy to look up. It's like, oh yeah, we have dealings with known dead serial killers.
It's doxing before doxing.
Right, yeah, what are they doing? The thing is, the Winchesters are going to be well known within the ghost hunting community. I guess the implication is that Ed and Harry are terrible and not known by anybody, so no one's ever going to find out.
So in the real community, in the hunter community, yes. Yeah. But I feel like there's two parallels going on. Yeah. So there's the Ed and Harry ghost hunters that are useless, and like they are probably the only people that actually have experience, so they're the ones that people look to.
Yeah.
And then you get the hunters who are like, who the hell are these guys?
Yeah. And they actually know what they're doing now, kind of.
With ghosts.
With ghosts, yeah. So they show them how to make shotguns, shells.
Very effective. Very effective. Winchesters still suck ass, though.
Affirmative. Suckage major.
Do you think that means that they have actually gone on to do more ghost hunting and have actually like killed ghosts?
I do. I think this is kind of telling of that. Or at least they're trying to.
Burning the wrong bodies and stuff.
God. I was more thinking like they're really prepared but just can't find another ghost.
Oh, yeah. That's probably more likely. Yeah.
So Dean has a duffel bag because apparently that's also a core trait of his. I mean, he goes to the gym, definitely, because he has like gym equipment in his apartment, so a duffel bag makes sense. And he puts in a salt shaker and some other stuff. I'm surprised they didn't go with golf clubs in this, because it would have made more sense for the characters than fire. I mean, they do show he has a massive fireplace, but I just feel like golf clubs would have been a funnier visual.
Are they made out of actual iron though? Or are they like, I mean,
they're
plated
irons.
But were they called irons because of that was how they originally made, and then like to make things lighter they used alloys?
But he's earning like the big bucks. Surely he can afford iron. Maybe they're the fancy. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Golf people, tell us.
What are golf clubs made out of? I say they're an alloy.
Probably, but that must be some kind of anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm arguing with you about golf clubs.
Where do we even get a gun?
Gun store?
Isn't there like some kind of waiting period or something?
I think so.
Well, how in the hell?
I don't know, man. Seems pretty impossible, honestly.
Right.
And then they just give up. They watched some more of the video, and Ed said again, the aforementioned super annoying Winchester douche nozzles also taught us this one other thing: you have to burn the remains.
Okay, this next part gets a little gross. Sometimes you might have to dig up the body.
Sorry. It's illegal in some states. All states. Possibly all states.
So it turns out Sam David was cremated, and they're like, what do we do? But the video immediately answers their question. They've got to look for some other remains. Hair in a locket, fingernails, baby teeth. Ed corrects that back to milk teeth. Maybe he doesn't like the idea of babies having teeth. I don't know.
That was a really weird correction. I was like, okay, I'm not sure anyone who calls baby teeth milk teeth, but okay.
He looked so disgusted, like he had a problem with the term baby teeth. I think that was it. But they need to find something, and then they end their video saying, "Fight well, young lions," and Ed says, "Godspeed," which connotations of that is no. Stop invoking God in this. He's a bad dude. So Sam and Dean are back at the company office. They're in the lift, and they have... Dean says, set your cell phone to walkie-talkie in case we get separated, which I didn't even know was an option in the early 2000s, that phones had a walkie-talkie setting.
I don't think they did. I think they just wanted to say it that way.
Maybe it was a BlackBerry thing.
Oh, it could have been, yeah.
They did look like walkie-talkies. They're discussing where they're going to find this genetic material, and they decide to try the office first, where they went before. So they start to look through, and then a guard catches Sam. Dean manages to hide behind some shelves. And the guard's like, come with me. And Sam's trying to be like, I work here. And the guard's like, no, tell it to the cops. So the guard takes Sam into a lift, and they go down a couple of floors, and then it starts to like flicker and stop and then sort of shift between floors. I hated this so much. You don't understand how much this is my nightmare, Annabelle.
I mean, this is harkening back to like Final Destination.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's so many Final Destination moments in this show.
There really is. Those films are better than I remember them being. The guard opens the doors with his magic guard key, and there's just a wall there. I think the doors are slightly above him, so he opens the other doors. Ugh. And, like, you know what's going to happen. And, like, Sam clearly knows what's going to happen. Because the guy's like, oh, I'm going to go. And Sam's like, no, don't go. And he's like, no, well, it took me, like, 2 hours last time. I'm going to go. And Sam's like, no, don't, man. And so the guard crawls through. And,
like, super slowly, too. It's not even like he kind of just lifts himself up and, like, can just... No, he's just, like... You're just anticipating it happening and, like...
I mean, I was like, Sam, like, push his butt. Like, help this man. Yeah. He does get out. And then he turns round to grab Sam to bring him out. And Sam's like, no. I mean, he's got further to go. He's got a longer time that his body has to be in between the things. He's a long boy. You just shouldn't do it.
Yeah, there is that too. Just don't do it. Just wait for someone to come get you out.
So, yeah, the guard grabs him back and, like, Sam's like, no. But the guard's really insistent and still in there. And then the elevator suddenly goes down and decapitates the guard. Or, like, cuts him in half. It's not just a decapitation. It's a sawing a person in half, magic box style. Sam's face gets absolutely covered in blood. But, like, hardly any on his shirt. He has a bit around the collar.
Pretty gross.
You hear Dean and, like, you're okay over the phone. And Sam's like, I'm going to call you back.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Oh, I can't even imagine being in that kind of situation. Oh. You can tell that the instinct is definitely kind of kept up, because I'm pretty sure anyone else's reaction would have been to, like, just throw up.
Yeah, there's definitely something there that he recognises that he's been in a situation before.
Yeah, being splattered by somebody else's blood.
Also, apart from when Dean sees Sam covered in blood, it's that dead guard. Never mentioned again.
Nope. That's super traumatic.
You know, someone would have found that. Definitely would be cops there. Asking about this man that's been cut in half by a lift, but nope, never mentioned.
Nope. The other half of his body is just in the lift.
It's just there. It's just there. Like, you're going to go get the lift? There's half a dude. But nope, not mentioned.
I mean, so Sam says a little bit later that we should take the stairs. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah. Nope. That guy, no one cared about that guy, apparently. Nope.
I know this is TV magic, but, like, Sam had to go walk up 14 flights, and he's fine.
I think they were on floor 10.
But I swear he goes down to his...
It went 9 and 10, and they got stuck between 9 and 10.
Okay, so it doesn't show which level he eventually gets off at then.
No. Oh, that's true, actually, yeah. Oh my god, you're right. He had to ride that lift wherever he was going with half a guy. I didn't even think of that. Okay. Why did the ghost kill that guy? He was doing his job and doing it well.
I was going to say the same thing, actually. Yeah. I don't know.
It's maybe probably trying to kill Sam, and this guy was just collateral damage because Sam wasn't doing his job well. He was Googling vampires during the work hours.
Yeah, exactly. So when Sam comes around the corner and sees Dean, Dean says, "Whoa, that's a lot of blood." Mm-hmm. And then that's it. That's the only acknowledgement of being covered in blood. Not like, I don't know. I feel like when they're themselves, they're a little bit more considerate to some people. Like they would have said something about this guard.
Do you think Sam... I'm so grasping. I'm grasping at the straws. Sam was the one who got covered in blood, hey? Symbolic of what's going on at the moment. Mm-hmm. Hey.
Could well be. So Dean points out this glass case, and it has a pair of gloves, and it's Sandover's gloves that he'd worn. And he says, how much do you want to bet there's a smidgen of DNA in there? Like fingernail clippings or a hair or two.
Yeah, I clip my fingernails straight into my gloves, don't you, Annabelle?
Absolutely. Like, who else
full
doesn't?
of fingernail clippings. You try and put them on, it's like...
Oh, God. I'm just imagining what that would feel like, and oh, no, thank you. If anything, like, don't call it clippings, but maybe, like, a broken nail.
Yeah.
They have, like, the poker and the salt, and Dean smashes the glass, after which the ghost appears, because of course. So, again, it's Dean that gets flinged against the wall.
Because he's the smallest.
Yeah. He's the smallest at 6'1". Or 2, or however tall he is.
I don't know.
Not the 6'4" that we saw in that.
Yeah, that was a lie.
An absolute lie. And then the ghost approaches Sam with his sparkly fingers. Mm-hmm. And Sam throws the salt at him, which makes Sandover disappear. And then they start to like fight the ghost by swinging the pokers around and like, over there, swing, over there, swing. It's great. They then, with their backs turned to each other, the ghost appears in between the two of them, and they both swing at the same time. One goes high, one goes low.
Perfect synchronization.
Yep, for two men that they've never met.
Exactly.
So once the ghost is gone, Sam manages to burn the glove.
Yeah.
And it's a blue flame.
I mean, he could only start burning it when Dean was in immediate danger, as in every other ghost episode. You can't set it on fire until the other brother is in danger.
Absolutely.
It doesn't catch otherwise. No. Or the lighter doesn't work, or there's something. Mm-hmm. But until your other brother is in mortal danger, it's never going to catch.
That's very true. They should get those like fire starters that they have for like campfires that always work.
Yeah. They should just start like, it's like, Dean, it's not lighting. Throw yourself into a tree, man.
Exactly. So they're amazed at what just transpired. Mm-hmm. So they end up going back down to Dean's office with like a first aid kit, patching up wounds and stuff.
That was amazing. Right? Right?
And Sam's like all gung-ho about, ghost hunting. He's like, oh, we should do this all the time. And Dean's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And I sort of dismissing it. Mm. And Sam's like, no, I mean it. There's got to be other ghosts out there. We could help a lot of people.
Yeah, right. We'd be like the ghost facers.
Never living it down.
But I feel like Sam kind of knows they're not legit, because no, really, I mean for real.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's like not those two weird guys in fake lab coats. Like,
and Dean's like, what? You mean quit our jobs and like hit the road?
Well, you ought to be kidding me. Huh? How would we get by? What, stolen credit cards, huh? Eating diner food, drenched in saturated fats? Sharing a crap motel room every night?
That's all just details.
Details are everything. You don't want to go fighting ghosts without any health insurance.
See, this is where I'm like, the two should be reversed.
No, because I think this is it. This is their characters, right? Because for Sam, The saving people is the most important bit. He actually doesn't mind the motels and stuff. It's Dean who wants a nice place to live and a home and stuff.
Because Sam is John Winchester.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dean is Mary.
There it is. All right. Okay, I agree.
Okay.
Sam clarifies what his dreams were. He says, I have a confession. I was fighting them. I was fighting them with you. And we were like these hunters and we were friends. More like brothers.
I mean, what if that's who we really are? I mean, you saw us back there working together. The ghost was scrambling people's brains. What if it scrambled ours?
That's insane.
Is it? Think about it for just 1 second. What if we think this is our life, but it's not?
I mean, that's a fairly good theory because he is basically having flashbacks, you know. He saw this guy who he'd never seen before, then saw him in real life. Like, it would make sense this electricity ghost did something to them.
Yeah, exactly. Dean's like, well, that's insane. Like, no. Like, your psychic crap is psychic crap.
Yeah.
So you're right. He's not... His abilities are allowing him to, like, see past the glamour.
I think
essentially.
so. Yeah, kind of, yeah.
And Dean's like, hey, the ghost's dead. We're still standing. That's enough. And Sam is being his insistent self and being like, look, I know that this isn't who we're supposed to be. Like, who they are right now, Sam Wesson and Dean Smith.
I'm Dean Smith, Director of Sales and Marketing. I went to Stanford. My father's name is Bob, my mother's name is Ellen, and my sister's name is Joe.
When's the last time you talked to them? To any of them?
Okay, you're upset. You're upset, you're confused.
Yeah, because I only moved here because I just broke up with my fiancée, Madison. But I called her number and I got a damn animal hospital.
Because I feel like Zachariah would have had to put memories into them that sat well with them enough for them not to question it. So Bobby being his father, yes, absolutely. Ellen being a mother figure, yes, absolutely. Joe being a sister, yes, absolutely. He took aspects of their lives and made memories out of those, and these are the ones that sat well enough with him.
When he said that, I was like, confirmation.
Vindication!
Exactly. And Sam interrupts him and says, look, we just moved here. I broke up with my fiancée, Madison, and then he tried to call her number, but he got an animal hospital.
Burn. Zachariah knew what he was doing, and that was he was like, this is gonna be so funny. Evil, so mean. So and you know Sam remembered this when he got his memories back and was like, wow, that guy's a dick.
He is. I mean, they are dicks with wings.
Yeah, it's very true.
And Dean says, you know, what are you saying? Are you trying to tell me my family isn't real?
I mean, of course he's defensive here. Dean family is everything. And then this guy's like, your family's not real. He's like, excuse me. Well, now we're never going to get on.
Yeah. I do wonder if they avoid using John because John has such strong memories for it, both of them.
The muscle memory is strong. Yeah.
And Sam says, all I know is that I got this feeling in my gut, and I know deep down you got to feel it too. We're supposed to be something. You're not just some corporate douchebag. This isn't you. I know you.
Do you know Dean?
He likes to think so.
He does like to think so, yeah. But then Dean doesn't really know Sam either, so, you know.
That's true. This almost harkens back to the argument that they had in Sex and Violence of like Sam being the better hunter, right? Because he's like telling Dean almost what to do.
Yeah, he's taking the lead here, isn't he? And being like, yeah, we should go save people. We should be doing this. And Dean's reluctant and saying, no, that's not what I want to do. And
then Dean asks him to leave. Yeah. Like, you don't know me, pal. You should go.
So, yeah, we see that office thing again 5 times. 5 times. Sam's back in his cubicle. Every time it's cut to Sam after that as well. Let's make that point. His phone is ringing. And it's just like all getting to him. You can see it in his face. He's being Sam twitchy. And he gets up and picks up the poker that he inexplicably still has at his desk and just smashes the phone in and says, I quit. The thing is, Sam, he already said it here, feels like he's destined for something else. So for him to try and go back to his corporate life and answer the phones and just tell people the same thing over and over again every day, he's not going to do it. This is the last we see Sam in this episode. So we assume he got his memories back. at the end of this, but who knows?
Maybe it's all connected to... Well, it's all connected to Dean, so yeah.
Yeah, it is. But I think it would have been funny... I think it would have been funny if we had to see Dean try and snap him out of it. Like, yeah, you were right all along, man.
Like, you kept calling him Sammy.
Yeah. Sammy.
Like, dude, that's not my name.
Sammy, come get in the car. No, not the Prius. So we see Dean. He's back at his job. He's just getting on with life. And his boss, who we saw at the beginning, knocks on the door and comes in. He asks Dean how he's feeling because he looks a little tired. He's been working hard. And he's, like, oh, don't be modest. I'm really pleased with you. You're doing a really good job. He says, it's important to me that you're happy. This guy offers Dean a raise. We thought it was about $5,000, but maybe it's a bit more than that. I don't know.
I thought it was 5,000 too.
Yeah. This guy says, like, well, we want to make sure you don't want to go anywhere. And he says, yeah, you're Sandover material, real go-getter, carving your own way. And Dean says, thanks, I try. And this guy's offering him, like, everything, like, oh, you'll become VP. Don't get me wrong, you'll have to work for it 7 days a week, lunch at your desk. But in 8 to 10 short years, you two can get promoted.
That sounds awful.
That's awful. And at this point, Dean takes off his Bluetooth headset thing that he's been wearing. And it's kind of symbolic, I think, of him giving this corporation up. Because he's like, thanks, but I'm giving my notice.
I recently, very recently, realized that I have some other work I have to do. It's,
And then this guy starts grinning, like this smarmy grin.
Mm-hmm. Such contempt in that smile.
I know. He's so good, this actor. Like, I despise him in Supernatural, but I'm supposed to, so it's good.
Yeah.
He kind of takes the place of where you would normally have Gabriel in these episodes. It makes more sense canonically, like in the story, for it to be Zachariah at this point. But they wanted to have these episodes, but they're like, there's no reason for it to be a trickster. We haven't revealed Gabriel yet. So yeah, he says, Dean, 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 finally. He presses 2 fingers to Dean's forehead, which is a very angelic move. Mm-hmm. This colour change, beautiful.
Yes.
Because up to this point, we haven't mentioned this episode, everything in this episode has been kind of almost oversaturated for Supernatural. Supernatural is a very blue show, right? Mm-hmm. This was almost kind of orangey for most of this.
It's much warmer.
Exactly, like, indicating that it's not real. We've talked about this before, like the colour orange in Supernatural is very much related to the fact that things aren't as they seem. Mm-hmm. So for it to go back to the blue-grey of Supernatural, you just see everything drain away. So Dean looks around the office and he's like, what's going on? He's like, what the hell, why am I wearing a tie? My God, I'm hungry.
Did I just get touched by you're an angel, aren't you?
I'm Zachariah.
Oh, right, that's all I need is another one of you guys.
Great line. And he says, I'm hardly another one. I'm Castiel's superior. And believe me, I had no interest in popping down here into one of these smelly things, like gesturing to his vessel. Mm-hmm. He said, after the unfortunate incident with Uriel, I felt it necessary to pay a visit, get my ducks in a row. I love it. Like, I'm not one of your ducks. Like, any kind of argument is, I'm not a duck. And Zachariah says, starting with your attitude. So clearly they think that it's such a weird one. Like, what's going on with the internal politics here? Because clearly they see Uriel as like a turncoat. So they're basically mopping up his mess. Because he's put the doubt into Cass and Dean, really.
So I'm guessing it took 3 weeks. Well, was it really 3 weeks? Or is this like time manipulation by angels?
Possibly, yeah.
But even if it was 3 weeks, that would give them time to like clean house. Because I'm sure they had to find all of those angels that converted.
Yeah.
And mind wipe them.
Yep, exactly, as well. And I think Cass is included in that. Dean's like, well, was this some kind of lesson? Is that what you're telling me? Very creative. And Zachariah says, you should see my decoupage. Which is just like paper mache, right? Decoupage. But Dean's like, no. He clearly thinks it's like something else. Maybe he thinks, is it décolletage, which is your like shoulder clavicle bones? Is that what you call that?
I I don't know.
I think I'm saying it wrong. It's a French word, so I'm probably saying it wrong. Zachariah says, so we had a real place, real haunting, just plunked you in the middle of it without your memories. And Dean's like, why though? So you can watch us run around like ass clowns in monkey suits. The writing in this, like, it's all douchebags, dicks, it's yeah, anyway. But Zachariah wanted to prove that the path is true, your all is truly in your blood. So it's like, it is your destiny. Mm-hmm. You're a hunter. Not because your dad made you, not because God called you back from hell, same thing, but because of what you are. So you, Dean, are not the man you are because of your father. It's because of who you are, which is, I don't think Zachariah is necessarily an antagonist at this point.
Not any more than just being an angel, yeah.
Almost a nice thing he does for Dean. It very much confuses it in my brain because he's pushing, it's coercive because he's pushing him in the direction that he wants to go. But it's going to happen anyway, and Dean does need to have his confidence back. I don't know. Yeah.
And you love it. You'll find your way to it in the dark every single time, and you're miserable without it. Dean, let's be real here. You're good at this. You'll be successful. You will stop it.
Stop what? The apocalypse? Huh? Lucifer? What? Be specific, man!
You'll do everything you're destined to do. All of it.
Giving a pep talk, like, come on, man, you can stop the apocalypse.
But the thing is, had there not been like a case, Dean would have been happy.
Oh, you're right. If it wasn't for the supernatural, the not normal, not natural, yeah, he could have been happy. And as I said before, Sam dragged him back in. Oh, it's Sam's presence as well, which is really sad because they do. So he says, you'll do everything you're destined to do, all of it, but I know you're not strong enough, you're scared, you've got daddy issues. Dean's like, angel or not, I will stab you in the face. Because you said daddy issues, so yeah, that's the appropriate reaction. And Zachariah says, all I'm saying is how you look at it. Most folks live and die without moving anything more than the dirt it takes to bury them. You get to change things. And he says, save people, maybe even the world. All the while you drive a classic car, fornicate with women. This isn't a curse, it's a gift. So for God's sake, Dean, quit whining about it, look around. There are plenty of fates worse than yours. I guess referring to the corporate lifestyle.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah. So you want to steam yourself another latte, or are you ready to stand up and be who you really are?
And what's so funny on a rewatch is like, that means so much more.
I know, it really does. And what he says here, he says, you'll do everything you're destined to do. That one sat really heavy with me because I'm like, he knows.
Yeah.
Zachariah's higher up. I think at this point, I think he knows all of the stuff.
What's funny is that everything does come to fruition in the end.
It does.
But it's not the brothers that fight. It's the spiritual brothers that fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't cause the apocalypse. It's just like...
I can't talk about that final Michael and Lucifer fight because 15 years, man, of this like building that up, and it's like, what was that?
I don't know.
Didn't even shake the building.
No, it was just like, it's like they were both depowered. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, angels, man. I mean, yeah, it's very prophetic, I feel, this episode. Like, Zachariah seems to know more things than we know at this point in the series. The pep talk that he comes and gives to Dean. I mean, he spent a lot of time and energy trying to build Dean back up in this. So you're kind of getting an idea of how important he might actually be to the angels. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you know, had he not said those last few lines, like, it was a very backhanded compliment, almost. Yeah. He's like saying, you know, it's not because your dad made you. It's not because God called you back from hell. It's because who you are and you love it. And then it's like, well, look at your life. It's amazing. Stop complaining about it, you big baby. It's like,
yeah,
whoa.
It's not good. I mean, the thing is, he's saying, like, we need you to stop the apocalypse, but at the same time, like, you're just human, though.
you may be destined, but you're still not worth the dirt that you stand on.
Yeah. And it's choice, right? He's essentially saying, like, you have no choice, which is what Zachariah does over and over and over again. He tells Dean that he has no choice. You have to be on this path. If you don't follow this path, this is what's going to happen to you. Like, every single time. Even this is like, if you weren't a hunter, you'd just be a man in a suit. Like, that's how he's presenting it. Like, you just, you'd just be a corporate lackey. You wouldn't be anyone special if it wasn't for it. It's very weird.
And I don't think that argument at this point works for Dean.
No.
Because at this point, he's like, I don't want the responsibility of saving the world for something that I caused.
And the thing is, Sam is the one in this episode who's discontent, who doesn't really like his job, who doesn't feel like he belongs. At no point does Dean make any kind of suggestion that he's unhappy with his life doing this.
Apart from that last line.
Yeah.
And to me, that felt kind of weird. Like, it didn't feel quite right.
He seemed happy. Like, he had his little routine. He was driving his little car, having his coffee, wearing braces. Like, dressing in his nice suits every day, living in a nice apartment. He seemed happy and content with what he was doing. Like, when he was talking to people on the phone and stuff, he was smiling.
And engaged,
yeah. He didn't, like, show any signs of, like, oh, this job's really draining. The same when he was a PA in the what's it called, the episode?
Hollywood Babylon?
Yeah, Hollywood Babylon, yeah. He was super happy, like, I love having a job and being important. Oh, man. He could have been happy. He could have been happy, Annabelle.
I know.
That's the worst bit about this episode, I think, because he gets dragged back in. Dean doesn't want to be in. He wants to go, lie on a beach. And he had enough money. He could have gone to lie on a beach as well.
He could have as well. I do wonder what this conversation would have been like between him and Cass.
Right, yeah. The elephant in the room, Cass should have been in this episode.
Yes.
100% as another employee. And then revealed himself at the end.
Yes. Yeah.
It's me!
That would have been great.
Dean Smith's secretary. The fanfic writes itself, Annabelle.
It does. It does.
But yeah, no, Cass should have been in this episode. Apart from Zachariah being fairly coercive in the end, there's no reason why. Because I said, like, this starts off as, like, we're teaching you a lesson about, like, who you are and that you're supposed to be a hunter and you're supposed to do this. And so you are going to manage to do the things that you need to do. Could have come from a place of compassion. And we could have replaced Zachariah with Cass, I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Without all the stuff about, like, daddy issues.
It might have also come across as a bit of a betrayal, though.
Yeah, I think so. Which is probably why they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to see Cass. Cass should have just been a background character. Like,
he walked by in his trench coat.
Like, hi. An actual accountant.
I was going to say, maybe one of the coroners.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Just a cameo. Look, if you can't have Cass in the whole episode, just a cameo, walking past a building. Just, I don't know. Just, we want more Cass content. I mean, I'm saying that like we can get any more Cass content ever, but... I mean, overall, I really like this episode. It's fun. We had a lot of fun doing this one, actually. It was good. I laughed a lot. I like it. I like our businessman Barbie and his grumpy sidekick.
The tech support.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that, Sam is a Wi-Fi router or Wi-Fi antenna. He is, yeah. He gives off the 5G. He's the one that they've been warning you about with all these vaccines and stuff. He's the 5G. He's the trigger man. He started it all. He is a personal router. So, yeah, tech support makes perfect sense for Sam in this universe. Though, I guess they had to show different aspects of like corporate life. Yeah. But how funny would it have been if he was like a corporate lawyer? It would have been good, but I feel like he wouldn't have been able to snap out of it as much, and it wouldn't have progressed as much, unfortunately. Plus, Zachariah doesn't care about Sam. He's like, just give him a crap job. Yeah, exactly. Just shove them in the basement.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like all angels, they don't like Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
So he gets the short end of the stick for his tall stature.
I think this is about right. This is classic, right? This is you watch this one. I mean, to be fair, this wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, this episode, without some context. So you do need to watch this one in sequence, I feel.
Yeah, you need to know the emotional damage that's just been caused.
Yeah, you need to understand the weight.
Yeah. But it's a fun episode to show like somebody who really doesn't know anything, because it's like, I thought this was supposed to be hunting like ghosts, and then they do, but it's just like they're businessmen.
Has anybody had that experience actually, where this has been the first episode they've ever shown someone a supernatural, and then they watch another one like Bloodlust? It's like, what is going on? This is like super violent.
It's not anything like I just saw. That's funny. That's very funny.
Okie dokie then. So what's the next episode, Annabelle?
So the next episode is the monster at the end of this book. Chuck is introduced.
Chuck. Oh, my little dude, Rob Benedict. I missed him. Look, much hatred for Chuck. Much. I love me some Rob Benedict.
Yes. Yes.
He was the very first cast member I got an autograph from when I first started going to supernatural conventions.
Oh, yeah?
And he was a delight.
Oh.
Yep. No, I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be good. I haven't watched it in a really long time, so I remember the beats of the episode. I don't remember all the details. I'm looking forward to seeing the front covers of some of those books.
I feel like this was a convention question, that like Chuck wasn't always going to be God, right?
No. So, I mean, we'll probably talk about this in the next episode. Rob himself, I think, doesn't believe that Chuck was always God.
Right.
So, yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting theory. I'm not sure I agree with Rob on that one.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Yep. Okay, then. So at the end of the episode, we would like to thank the Pixel Agora for his wonderful art that we use on our podcast. If you would like that art, go to our Redbubble. You can get it on a thermos. You can get it on a phone case. You can get a badge, I think. But go have a look.
Remember.
And who knows, maybe we'll have some not natural.
Some not natural merch. Maybe.
Don't hold your breath on that one.
As long as you swear not to wear it outside of conventions.
You have to promise. You have to sign a disclaimer when you buy it. Let us know if you'd like that. Maybe there's no appetite for that. Yeah.
Maybe we say not natural and then like Escaping Purgatory podcast. That way it's like...
That's worse because then it's associated with us.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. All right, maybe not.
Anyway, if you have any comments about that, you can find us on all the social media. We are Escaping Purgatory Podcast. Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram. We also have a Ko-fi. Or we are Escaping Podcast on Twitter as well. And we're pretty active on most things. We'll see your message. You do a message. We'll see the message. We usually respond to the message. Yeah. That's how it works. That's how the internet works.
Yes. Yes, it is. So this week we saw some mushrooms on the ground. We took a handful and ended up in some weird dream that wasn't quite right. So we are never doing that again.
Nope.
But hopefully next week we can find our way out.
Bye.
Bye.